What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Kimo. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Thor. His name is just Jeff. I have no idea who Jeff is. It could be anyone, but I was told this game is a good game, so chances are someone good, right? Who knows? Anyways, we've been doing a lot of Kimo games recently. He plays a lot of Age Mythology of the Titans and plays at a very, very high level, so I always enjoy casting Kimo's games. We do have some pig scouting going over here with the goats, all the good stuff. And we've got Kimo maneuvering over to this berry bush very, very early here. Very confused about that one. He must have missed out on his hunt. He does find some elk or caribou, I should say, over here. But he is definitely missing his original hunt, which is the auroch, which is hiding right down in this corner here, just out of line of sight. That feels bad right there for Kimo, and this is one of the most difficult situations you can be in as an Isis player, and we're seeing Kimo actually reacting to it fairly well, but it's going to hurt him nonetheless. He's going to get a very, very late second age here, but chances are he might be able to hunt all of this caribou. And one thing that before we jump over to Jeff's perspective, one thing that Kimo could have done here to make this just a little bit better was utilize this pharaoh to scout the middle out and grab the goat that are in the middle. You can see that there are 2 goat remaining, and Jeff's probably got, it's actually not that many goat on the map either. This is a super low food spawn here for both players. As Kimo's walking forward, he does see the Ulfsar going to be chucking this house up at a quick Alt-S of that one. It's going to be completely fine as Jeff has done that already. So now let's check out Jeff's base. Jeff has finished up his initial auroch. He's moving over to his caribou. And this is this is also another reason why Thor and other Norse gods aren't so good on this map, is that we have these caribou here. We have the auroch here, but you have to run all your villagers over here. He's sending 8 villagers over to this hunting pack here. He's only got 4 caribou here, so it's really not worth it to send this many villagers over here. I actually think it might be worth it to simply send 4 villagers over here, have a second ox cart to go onto the berry bushes here, and just accept that that's what's going to have to happen here, and that we're probably going to have to farm in this game. So in the classical age, it's going to be a slow one. I think this might even be a far second town center kind of map here, because both players going to be super slow. Probably Kimo's not even going to make it to the heroic age without farms. I'm not 100% sure. There's a little bit of food in the berries, plus some herdables here. So he might be able to get to the heroic age off of one town center if that's what he wants to do, but who knows? We've got the temple now up for Jeff as he's continuing along here, building some more dwarves out. 4 villagers on wood, 4 villagers on, I should say 5 villagers on wood and 4 villagers on gold. Probably doesn't even need to build an ox cart out of here, and he will finish up this caribou in order to advance. So we will be seeing Freya. No, we're seeing Forseti coming through here for Jeff. Obviously against the Anubis threat, you want Hall of Thane's Hersa, but also you want Hall of Thane's Hersa for against the Ancestors threat. So not a bad idea at all. His opponent here, Kimo, has not clicked advance yet, has not thrown his temple down yet, and this is what I was talking about. It's going to be tough for Kimo to advance at a competitive time with a map like this. And he has definitely not made it easy for himself going 3 villagers on wood. Temple is coming up. There's no villagers on monuments or anything like that. He's got 400 food in this auroch, plus these herdables. He should be able to get heroic age off of this. And then he should be thinking about utilizing the market to trade and utilizing prosperity with a ton of dudes there. Pharaoh is idle, gets that sorted out. Villagers moving over onto this granary. I've been seeing this more and more from a lot of people. You do not want to have 5 villagers, so it's only 4 building, but 5 villagers on a granary building it at once. You want 1 villager, as we do see Kimo does fix that one up. You want 1 villager building a building if there's no need to get it up very quickly. And a granary here, one villager building the granary, the rest of the villagers jump onto the berries. They will not hit 15 food before the granary gets up, and you will be completely fine here. Anyways, monument just about up for Kimo. Kimo is deciding to go through Bast here with the near 6-minute advance time. Very, very old school. If we go back in time, 6-minute advance times were all the rage for the Egyptian players. But obviously here, Kimo, he's done the best he possibly could with the map. And we are seeing Jeff going for a far second town center. Like I said, this makes a lot of sense going for the far second town center. Given the amount of food on the map, probably not going to get to the heroic age. So it's going to be a tough thing to get that market up and start abusing trade like that. So I like the idea. Jeff needs a lot of villagers on wood and to start farming very, very early here, and that's going to be exactly the same with Kimo as well. And it's looking like Kimo is potentially going to be doing something very, very similar. However, he's got 16 villagers on gold. This could be a fast 3 town centers from Kimo. That actually might be a really good reaction to this. If he goes fast 3 town centers and then grabs these herdables and starts just kind of playing hyper defensive, this could be a very, very smart reaction to the problem that he's currently facing. Does he have pickaxe? He does have pickaxe. He's got husbandry, so these herdables are going to be able to be eaten for quite a while. The Sphinx is out, so we can start thinking about raiding with that for a little bit. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff's perspective because Kimo is smacking buttons like a madman. Anyways, we've got Jeff moving back onto his own herdables. No husbandry just yet, though it is coming through, and the town center is just about up here. So, feels good. We are seeing the dwarves coming out. I like the dwarves in this position. Dwarves onto trees as Thor gather at the same rate as gatherers on trees. So there's no real reason to not put them on if you're trying to conserve the food that you have to get to the next age. So there is actually a world here where these herdables could bring Jeff to the heroic age. We are seeing that 3 town center from Kimo coming through here. He's also throwing up the armory, and this is going to be a wild game of booming. Jeff gets the earlier town center. He's throwing up his armory. It's clear he wants to get to the heroic age. I think this is a great idea if he can skip all of those useless longhouse units and get straight into those more strong hill fort units without the threat of an Ancestors Eclipse, because Kimo's gone 3 town centers. He's probably not going to be into the heroic age until around 10 minutes plus here, given the farms now coming up onto this location. Kimo's only got 4 villages currently on gold. He's going to need a lot more on gold if he wants to get those farms going. Does he have plow? He's got plow, so he's ready to sort that one out. The armory is on the way. Villagers have started setting up farms on this town center as well, as we see the Ulfsark taking down the obelisk over here. And this is looking kind of fine. This is like I actually think this is a really good reaction from Kimo. And the reason for this is because there's so little food, that means the only real thing that your opponent can do is make wood-based units. And wood-based units are really, really bad at pushing. As you can see that's basically what's going to happen here. But Jeff is taking this from into another perspective here, where he's like, well, I'm going to get heroic age with no pressure. I'm going through Skadi, and he's going to have access to the strong wood-based army of Huskal. So Huskal throwing axemen kind of vibes for Jeff is going to be very, very real here. And we'll see if it's going to work out for him or not. But there is also a potential to go to the heroic age and then grab this town center as well, and simply just take this into a very big booming game here. As you can see, the gold mines, he's kind of exposed. You could potentially see some sort of hypothetical gold starve. It is 2 gold mine Ghost Lake, and I mean, Egyptian players can trade for gold and get their trade set up very, very easily here. So if they are expecting some sort of gold stuff coming, a Kimo market, as we like to call them, in this corner to this town center would be incredibly safe, and there wouldn't be any real way to stop that. So we are seeing the Sphinx moving forward here, showing off that he exists before retreating away. And there's the Skadi. There's the 3rd town center for Jeff. Very, very greedy here at this point, I would say, because this is asking for Kimo to be hitting his own heroic age, and it is going to be about maybe 10:30, even later, maybe 11 minutes to the heroic age for Kimo. So this town center will be up. It's going to be fine, but there is a potential for a full 145 population Ancestors Eclipse. Brutal timing, potentially with Thoth to boot behind it. Or even Son of Osiris or Osiris with mummies to push behind it as well. If you can get like 2 mummies out with Eclipse and Ancestors, obviously, then you can get a ton of those minions and it can be very, very strong. But right now, Kimo's on 30 villages on food, 18 villages on gold. I kind of wouldn't have minded him with maybe 1 or 2 more villages on wood to just get up to shaft mine here, to get that gold coming in just a little bit quicker, but it's going to be fine. We are seeing some barracks coming up because Kimo knows that, well, he's in the heroic age, probably going to be making Huskar. Need to have some option of making Axemen to deal with those because the Hill Fort units do not cut it. But Kimo's about to click up, and yeah, 11 minute 30. That's going to be about right. He can definitely town bell and advance now, but just going to wait just a little bit longer as we are seeing some more units coming out for Jeff, and he is just playing it nice and slow. Jeff can actually just rush Mythic Age here. He doesn't need to throw these farms down at all. He doesn't need to throw these farms down at all. Doesn't need to be building gatherers. Just chuck tons of dwarves onto gold. Build the market. Once you get about 2,500 food, buy yourself the 1,000 food. Go Balder. This could be huge. Could be absolutely huge. Let me just go ahead and move this face cam so you guys can see the timer here, because I have been hiding that from you and you're going to get very, very angry. Sorry. So Hill Fort on the way now for Jeff. He's got heavy infantry here as well, so they're going to be very, very strong. A third barracks on the way as Kimo's going to be advancing. And we've just had an 11 minute, 30 second boom before any real action has been taken here. So we'll see how it goes. Villagers do finish up on this gold mine. I mean, this gold mine is completely safe here for Kimo. 1 Migdol stronghold plus maybe a monument behind here, and he'll be very, very safe. But now we're seeing Jeff starting to put some pressure onto Kimo. These axemen popping out. Medium axemen getting sniped down very quickly. We'll see what Kimo wants to do with those with that axeman. Looks like he just wants to let it die, but maybe he was going for some scouting. But Hathor is actually the god of choice here for Kimo as well. Obviously, he's looking for hyper late game, getting all of the economy upgrades. This basically indicates that we're going to be seeing Osiris as well. So no Thoth here against the Norse. But Hathor, he's going to have access to the rock. He's going to have access to that Betsukos. But with only 1 monument, it's a little bit scary. Do we see a monument coming up on this location? No. Siege Works is coming up. Not quite enough gold. We see the Kimo markets coming up now for Kimo, because he's going to want to start spamming that trade. Do we have irrigation? Yes, we do. So his food economy is going to be skyrocketing here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeff up to irrigation himself and thinking about getting himself, well, he needs to maybe not be building so many Frost Giants here, but maybe getting himself Winter Harvest as well. Can be very, very good. We see the Axemen getting sniped off over here. There's like more Axemen coming out for Kimo and just taking it slow. But I mean, this is one thing that I really don't know if ISIS can get away with. I don't think you can really get away with going slow against Norse, because they will be able to hit brutal timings. We see the Axemen now pushing out. Locust onto this location, hitting a ton of villages. Does pick off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a couple of farms. 5 villages and a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. 5 villages and a couple of farms here. So nice little usage of that one as the Axemen retreating back here. We'll see how this is all going to go. If Kimo can defend, he should be able to, but he's probably not full population just yet. Just trying to pump those out. He's just about out of this gold mine as well. So there's going to be a very real problem mounting for Kimo here. But he's got 2 markets, so the trade's going to be able to happen. He's going to be able to sell that wood he's got here for very cheap. Oh, sorry, not for very cheap, for very good amounts of gold here as he starts his trade route. So he probably doesn't even need to come and get a second gold mine, but he is up at the front of the map here with these villages as Jeff is kind of suiciding into Kimo, kind of allowing him to just sit back and be fine here. I'm not sure if Jeff is making the right decision to push in here. He could have frosted this all and tried to take down the town center if he wanted to, but no idea that there's villages up on this location. No idea that there's villagers. Could be villagers over here as well if we check out Jeff's perspective. He does know, or he doesn't know that there's a gold mine here, but he knows that there's potentially one here, and we do see the Patsukos raids still happening over on this location, being very, very annoying here for Jeff. He might want to consider bringing a Frost Giant over onto that location, maybe getting that one sniped off here. So we're seeing more portable rams coming out, a market coming down for Jeff as well. But he is very far away from any sort of next age. We see the mud brick coming in, sun-dried mud brick, villagers garrisoning, and Kimo is on the way to the mythic age. He's going through Osiris, so he's getting everything he wants here, everything and more. He's got so much wood in the bank. What is he going to be using that for is the question. If I was Kimo, I would be selling a lot of that wood right now just to get the advantage there on selling wood for gold. But anyways, we see the Frost Giants coming back in. It's basically mass throwing axemen here for Jeff because he can't really afford to make raiding cavalry to counter these axemen. And Kimo just says, well, I'm on my way to the mythic age, so I don't really want to fight you just yet. But one of the big problems for Kimo is he doesn't have access to funeral rites, so he has to go mummies in order to kill off these Frost Giants. And we do see a gigantic frost here from Jeff, taking the majority of Kimo's army here, plus a bunch of those villagers, and even some camel caravans, and the Son of Osiris to boot, or the Pharaoh to boot. So the town center will go down here, it looks like, with the help of those 3 portable rams, plus the Frost Giants that are getting taken down ever so slowly here by the town center. And there goes this town center falling here. As Jeff is clearly pushing forward and has a big advantage here. He's going through Balder as well. He's going to be absolutely huge here with this Ragnarok. Already 42 villagers on wood, plus 24 on food. Not many on gold here, but still a ton of villagers, and we do see these villagers up here for Kimo as well. Will we get that Son of Osiris instantly cast? Probably will. For Kimo, and now the Son of Osiris defense will be on its way as Kimo is going to be getting his town center back. Mummies coming forward here, and this trade route is going to continue. We see the coinage immediately getting grabbed here for Kimo, and I imagine flood control will come through as soon as he can afford it as well. No quarry, no carpenters yet either, but he does have bowsaw, does have shaft mine. You do see one Frost Giant getting taken down here as these axemen will be able to take out the rest of the throwing axemen. Throwing axemen will be able to beat axemen if they have some sort of meat shield. But before then, that does not happen here, and we will be seeing the Frost Giant getting taken down by these priests. The mummy is helping out, but doesn't do a whole lot. Town center back up for Kimo, but it's not over for him just yet. He's now going to have to deal with that Ragnarok, and there's really not that many units out for Kimo, not that many barracks out. We do see masons coming through, no architects. These villagers have gotten up a Migdol stronghold over on this location, and where are Jeff's gold mines? He's got 1 gold mine here, 1 gold mine here, and he's lost control of the top side of the map here. There's the Eclipse coming in for Kimo, saying, I don't want to deal with Ragnarok just yet. Give me an extra minute to prepare, and I will see what I can do to defend this one. We do need to possibly see towers coming down. Kimo does have 3,300 wood, 400 wood in the bank. If he chucks all of that wood into towers here, he could easily get up all the towers he needs on this location. The problem, well, he definitely needs to defend this town center, but the problem is that if he loses the back town center, he also loses the trade route. So have to be careful about that one. We are seeing a little bit of a push in here. The mummy has that extra speed boost. Don't know where he's going. Maybe up to the top to snipe that fire giant here. As the Son of Osiris has moved in. I'd love to see the Son of Osiris targeting down these dwarves, because 2-shotting the dwarves seems very, very nice indeed. But got to be careful here. We see the hill fort able to start sniping down the Son of Osiris. And Kimo has to pull back while Jeff is doing his thing. We see this mummy coming in, and that'll be a dead fire giant here as it comes in, and dead fire giant. Nice play here by Kimo, utilizing that Mummy, and he's going to try and make a break for it. The Frost Giant 3.8 speed, the Mummy 4.0 speed, so we will be able to get away. The question is, Kimo has to actually click again. It looks like he's not clicking again, but I was going to say the question is, does a full special Mummy take out the Frost Giant, or does it get frozen before it manages to get the attack off? So we'll see. Well, we won't see. The Frost Giant wins this fight because he got the special off. Anyways, Jeff just holding on to his Ragnarok here. Still getting out his armory upgrades. Only one armory here. Need to see 2 more armories get thrown down and get all of those armory upgrades going on. I don't hate the idea of holding on to Ragnarok here with the intention of spamming towers out with the Ragnarok. You don't go for the win. You go for a decent amount of trade units here, a huge Ragnarok, and then potentially killing off a town center, but definitely not committing fully and getting towers set up so that you can control the location, or at least delay while you recoup your villager losses here. But I mean, look at this. Three technologies coming through in one armory. Always hate that. But we'll see what Kimo's going to do. He is chucking up towers over on this location. He's got guard towers, 8 towers here. Only 2 towers on the front that really matters. Both of these locations matter a ton. So it's good to see all the towers going up here. If Kimo wanted to get these up faster, he would put 1 villager on each of these towers. I believe it takes, well, like 3 minutes to get 1 tower up. Maybe it's less or more, but basically you'll get these up. It's going to be fine. We do see the throwing axeman coming in here. Son of Osiris getting big damage done, but Jeff doesn't care. He's moving in. He's trying to get as much damage done to this Son of Osiris as he possibly can. And he is half HP'd, the Son of Osiris, and all of those throwing axemen do end up falling here. But maybe Jeff is just throwing away that population in order to... he's a full population here, but in terms of villages. But maybe he's throwing away that population just to have some room for... Why are you getting ambassadors? Hello? Who are we going to be tributing to? Jeff could also go for Wonder here. Just as a random idea. He could definitely go for a Wonder. Rag Wonder is the oldest trick in the book that's never been used ever. There are rocks, because Locust has happened in this game, but the idea isn't necessarily to win with the Wonder, but to really distract your opponent while you push in with all the Rag heroes, because you want to put the Wonder up with, like, I don't know, 15 Rag heroes, and the rest of them go and attack. And you're not really going to feel the lack of 15 Rag heroes when you're at a full pop Ragnarok, but the Wonder will go up, and then you put the pressure on while your opponent's kind of scrambling to defend, and you're fine. Look at this 365 population Ragnarok coming forward here as we see the attack on to the top location straight away here. And then I imagine we'll see an attack onto the bottom location here as well. But Kimo is very well set up on this location, very well set up on this location, and the hometown center is obviously an issue as well for Jeff to attack. So I really don't know if this Ragnarok's going to be able to do anything here. Honestly, we see some villagers getting sniped down as they have to retreat away, but this forward base is going to be completely picked off essentially for free. Jeff still not going in with a Wonder or anything like that. No attempt at a Titan Gate. There is a Titan Gate coming through here for Jeff, so that's another option here as we see Jeff waiting up with these units. So he's going to have a Titan out, and he's going to be able to keep putting this pressure on and potentially push through these towers. So one thing that Jeff could do is set up towers back here before he pushes in, but he is sneaking around the back, going to be going after the markets on this location. We see these axemen getting some good damage done still. How are the armory upgrades looking for Kimo? Almost full bronze, effectively full bronze against what Norse can do versus the full iron dragon scale shields of Jeff. There's the Titan Gate getting thrown down as these units are starting to put this one up. Kimo does have the rock though, so we can make that happen. We are seeing a hill fort coming down now for Jeff. So he's going to be trying to push into Kimo over on this location. Meanwhile, we see this is not going to be possible. We see the healing spring coming in. Healing up these heroes of Ragnarok is actually such a good idea. Such a good idea. Well, we'll see how this is going to work for Jeff, but I do think that this Titan is going to be very much necessary. So we'll see, is Kimo going for his own Titan here? No, he is not. He's just throwing up more buildings. I don't know how Kimo plans on holding this. Buildings are all well and good, but they don't do a whole lot against the Titan. As long as Jeff attacks well. Oh, here we go. Here's the catapult coming through for our ISIS player Kimo. We see the catapult's getting sniped down, but this Son of Osiris is completely out in the open here. If Jeff pays attention at all, he will be able to snipe this one down. The rock is not close, not nearby. As we see the Son of Osiris getting sniped down, the tower is going up here very, very fast, but the Son of Osiris does end up falling, as Jeff has really helped himself out in this game by sniping that Son of Osiris off there. So we'll see where to now for Jeff, as he's still at 300 supply, putting more watchtowers up on this location. I don't know about this. Like, it's what I want, but it still seems a bit tough. Maybe some walls over here as well. Couldn't go astray as you control this back location here. And we'll see how that's all going to go. We're seeing Jeff still trying to make a push in here. One of the big problems for Jeff here is going to be the food, or lack of food, that he's got. Does he have access to winter harvest? He does not. So if he gets that, he's going to be able to resupply very, very quickly. He also can buy some food as well if he needs to. But Jeff just pulling back here, still waiting on this Titan gate. Takes a long time for it to come out, that's for sure. But honestly, imagine if this was a Wonder here. Pretty sure the Wonder goes up a bit faster than the Titan gate, right? Maybe if he went Rag Titan. No? I don't know. But Jeff's still not able to make much ground here. Kimo's still being like, well, I'm fine here. I've got all the camel caravans in the world. I've been like making camel caravans since minute 1 of this game. Look at this. 31. How many does he have? 42 camel caravans, it looks like. And Kimo is still making them. He is still making them. Well, now 43, and he's decided to stop. 43. There's the Titan now out for Jeff. We'll see if this one's going to help help Jeff push through. Jeff's still 270 population plus here. As he's pushing forward with his Titan. The Rag Heroes still coming in, still trading fairly well. He does have the armory upgrade advantage, so that's great for him. So we're starting to see the catapult rolling forward here. So the Titan will walk in, easily kill this, easily kill all the towers. But maybe the Ragnarok has dwindled a little bit here. Now seeing this fortified town center was getting taken down, so has to come over here and defend this one a little bit, as we're seeing Kimo reset up on this position. Smart play from Kimo to be distracting Jeff in this game. We are seeing the Titan walk straight in for the town center. Catapults are here as well. We're actually going after the Migdal Stronghold first. Definitely go after the town center, cut that population down, and then kill everything else off. Going to be completely fine. We are seeing, look, the Titan will basically take next to no damage here. It's sitting just losing 100 HP thus far. You see the Migdal Stronghold falling. Meanwhile, over here, Axeman getting sniped off as the villagers have grabbed this gold mine over here. And this town center is on the way down here. We see the farms getting taken down, and the town center is surely going to follow suit. We even have a baluster in the back. One thing Jeff does need to be careful of is not having these units queued up. Well, he has fire giants over here, but we are seeing the rock coming in, going after the town center. Still, there's 3 of these catapults as Kimo is going to try and deny a town center, as his town center has been denied. So very, very smart play from Kimo. We'll see if that's going to work out. Seeing more towers getting thrown down. I would like to see this Titan just cleaning this up. Jeff's got a little bit of wood in the bank, and easily buy a ton of wood here in order to throw up more towers, potentially take this town center for himself and go into a 4-2 town center advantage here, and then start really spamming those villages back up and getting sorted out here as this town center is on its way down. There is no real way to deal with this rock without having a fire giant. So one thing he could do is cut this fire giant here, cut all the throwing axemen, and then as he loses these units, he will get the fire giant out on this location to deal with this, as we do see this town center has almost fallen here with 150 HP remaining. We do have a single lone throwing axeman popping out here to help take down the rock, but I believe it is too little too late, as this town center will be falling. But like I said, can easily take this back for himself. Go 3 town centers, completely fine here if he so chose, but still not buying wood just yet. And now we see the Baluster towers getting taken out. And potentially Jeff moves up and takes down the Migdol strongholds over here. Now the villagers move forward for Kimo. Smart play here. Kimo goes after this town center as his opponent could potentially go after his own town center. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get this one up. Jeff is down to 127 of 120 population. He's lost some houses here, and that's going to be absolutely brutal for Jeff. Jeff's got this fortified town center he can go to, but he can definitely start thinking about trading to his forward town center now, as the Titan's still very, very healthy in this game. We'll see where the Titan's going to go, if he can move in and try and take down the temple, take down everything else is the question. This town center is just about up. More houses getting sniped down. We even have a mummy coming in onto this position here to take down any sort of pesky fire giants. Blue crystal shard getting dropped here as well. Now our Titan of our Norse player walking in here, looking like the absolute crazy angry troll he is. He's been eating just a little bit too much, a little bit overweight, but he has been lifting. Obviously he has to lift that big hammer, so he's coming in, taking down the town center, doing the good stuff, as that is very, very quickly going to be erased from the map. But as this is all going, Kimo is just rotating around the map and just saying, well, you clear out this, I'll clear out this. This costs a lot less population. We do see one fire giant here, but the mummy immediately going to be clicking onto it. 3.2 speed, not enough really to escape the mummy. That's going to be able to catch up, easily snipe this fire giant here, and there he goes to take that one down. We do see some Olsark getting converted here for Jeff. Don't want to be doing that at this point. No way. He needs to be having those villagers on the farms right away. We see this other catapult still getting work done. We see a Migdol stronghold going to be falling here for Kimo as well, as Kimo has now got his trade route completely thwarted, though he can move up to the top town center with that one, and he actually improves his market quite a bit. Now we see that Jeff is going to keep walking through here, potentially coming over onto this town center soon. One thing that you want to be doing with your Titan mostly is denying 2 town centers. If you can deny 2 town centers, then you're in a really good position. If you can't deny 2 town centers, then the Titan you can kind of keep playing the game. And we see these fire giants are still just getting sniped here by the mummies, as Kimo is controlling these mummies very, very nicely, that's for sure. But just 5 HP remaining here, can easily snipe that one off. We're potentially seeing Jeff going to be clicking onto it right now, as the mummy going to be retreating back. Trying to keep him alive until he gets the 20-second recharge, and then he can move in and take down another fire giant. So much value here. Still seeing this town center trying to come up here. Boom. No. Kills a villager. Or bashes a villager. Jeff! Click the town center. Where are you going? I don't know where he's going. Town center now up for Kimo. 2 of these fire giants are out back here for Jeff. Jeff down to 2 town centers still. Kimo's on 3. Do you see the Baluster rolling in here? That would have been very smart if he could have gotten Ballista onto this location. So take the town center down, and while that's down, send some units in and build a box here for the Ballista to sit in to keep this town center down, and then the Titan sits on this town center over here, and you basically cut all of the food and all of the population from Kimo with very few resources here. But now we're just seeing the Titan walk up to the top as Jeff is just like, I want this location back to myself. See this mummy getting taken out. Smack, smack, smack. As the priests are coming in to get some significant damage. There's no funeral rites, so it's only like 3 damage an attack or something from the priests, which is really not that much, but it's something. We see this house getting taken down. More priests getting built here. Town center, very, very low HP as Jeff is... I mean, he's kind of struggling, I guess, population-wise. 97 of 140. Still building villages out of this town center. He's not. He's building villages out of this town center, though. So this one is on the way back up. Jeff coming back in here. Doing his thing. How many? Look at this. Look at this. It's almost just like a straight line on the map here. It's almost just a straight line of camel caravans. Is this not the most Kimo thing you've ever seen in your entire life? Absolutely love it. We'll be seeing these priests getting sniped down here. As Jeff still not able to get his town center back, but he is getting this one back. And we'll see this forward base getting sniped down as Kimo's just continuously chucking down Migdol strongholds all over the place. He doesn't mind losing one as long as he gets another one back up. Now Kimo can start taking his this third down as Jeff has got no way to defend this one. No way to defend this one at all. This Titan has come to about half HP now, so doing fantastically. But you got to remember, this is 20 population here. So it's got to do something. It's really got to do something. We'll see the Titan moving forward now. We do see this town center getting taken down as now Jeff is retrading the town centers back up to 3 town centers as he's losing this one. Kimo is going to move forward and take this back, set up his towers yet again. And he's going to be slowly but surely keeping himself in this game. I mean, Kimo doesn't have that many villages on food though. You got to be real. He's only got like 13 villages on food, 11 on wood, so... all of the camel caravans, it's not that bad of an idea. And he does manage to pick off a fire giant here. Nope, he goes after an Ulfsark, bit of a misclick. As we see the Titan slowly walking back into Kimo's base. I would love to see, what I want to see basically is the Titan taking down this town center and then some units coming in to set up a box here for a ballista, and then you just have the ballista in here to keep this settlement down while the Titan moves over here. This is how you kind of do Titan shenanigans, but obviously no one's really learned how to do Titan shenanigans because it's not really something you get into a position with very often. Like normally you're just Titan versus Titan, and the only real thing you can do is, man, they really didn't work well. My train of thought is not with me right now, but they really did not work well on this model at all, did they? They're like, we're not going to see much of the Norse Titan. Doesn't matter that his hands look gimpy AF, completely bugged out here. Look at this bad boy. He's got diapers on and everything. Such an angry little man. He's just walking around with the biggest toe you've ever seen as well. Anyways. Priest getting pulled back. Yes, it's looking scary for Kimo yet again. Jeff is still trying to pull in front here. He's doing a very, very nice job. Just put a wall up. Just a little box. One box, one baluster. That's all you need. A box and a baluster. You do see the monuments of the pharaohs. Or monument 2 pharaohs getting taken down as well. Check the upgrades. Alright. Nearly full upgrades here. Just missing the Thor, unique Thor upgrade. And Kimo's full iron. The economic upgrades are probably full for Kimo as well. For Jeff, I'm not sure though. He still doesn't have Winter Harvest. Get Winter Harvest, Jeff. Get it. Just do it. I don't understand why he's bothering with the baluster towers. They don't matter. You can take them down with something else. Kill this. The catapult raids back at it again. His Kimo is just max abuse right now. As is just Jeff is having to somehow deal with this rock flying around, doing the dirties. Managed to take down a longhouse very quickly here as the villagers getting a couple of cheeky jabs in. I think it's a bad idea to just make some Ulfsark out of your town center here and chase this around a little bit. And now all the priests and pharaoh starting to make this Titan's dreams of bringing the Thor player to victory seem just dreams. I don't understand why you're still building Fire Giant with this many priests. Just hold on to the favor, maybe. We do finally see the town center going down as Kimo is continuously abusing here. The rock's going to be able to flap away from the Fire Giant. We do see these Ulfsark getting converted into villagers here. The trade route is continuing to be very inefficient for Jeff and less inefficient for Kimo, but actually pretty inefficient. Still 17 gold apiece. And are they dumping into the wrong market? I honestly can't tell which market they're dumping into here. Must be this one. The Titan. Don't retreat the Titan. Just kill as much as you can. Kill as much as you can. Where'd that rock go? That random catapult getting some good damage done. I think the rock must have gotten taken out. Why are you running? This unit is not important. Just let it die. It's actually worth it to leave it alive for just as long as you can here while it's not doing anything. But there goes the Titan, and now Jeff has got full access to his population here. We'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. It's still a very, very close game at this point here. See the Ulfsark going to be able to swoop in, take out these priests and the axemen as well. We see this Fire Giant getting sniped down very quickly here. And now we need to see this Ox Caravan trade route get fixed up, and that's exactly what Jeff's going to do. One thing you can do in late game when you're playing against people who are killing your town centers a lot is control group your Ox Caravans, so it's easier to select them all, and then you can easily change their trade route destination. So just devote like one little control group to that, like on like 9 or something, and that you wouldn't use, and you can do a lot of really good damage with that one. We're seeing these Ulfsark trying to just push in. Fire Giants going after the Mummy Vizier that is here, or Vizier that is here. We'll be able to snipe that one down before it gets to run away, it looks like. So no more dead Fire Giants as Jeff is like able to start making some real significant push into Kimo. Kimo's got a ridiculous amount of resources in the bank, but I'm not sure that it's going to matter here because he's not spending them. Now he's going to start making some more axemen. He still needs to figure out a way to deal with these fire giants. He should be rebuilding his monuments. He's got monuments to the gods, monuments to the villagers, monuments to the soldiers, monuments to the priests. So no monument to the pharaohs here, as that one was taken down. And we do see Kimo's Titan Gate is coming out here. So now Jeff has got no response to this. He can't make his own Titan Gate. He can't do anything of that sort. But just imagine here for a second. For 1 second. If Jeff went for a wonder, probably would have been taken down by the rock, but a wonder. Big brain plays. You see this Migdal stronghold getting taken down. His villager just hanging out on this gold mine over here. Build some buildings here. Some towers, Jeff. Just... Do you not have any resources? He doesn't have any resources. Just want to see some towers here. Migdal stronghold getting taken out. So we do see a mummy vizier coming in, doing its thing. Yeah, so the chat is saying that there's potential Balder Rams that could be used here. They're very, very good in this situation where you're forcing your opponent to go Axeman Priest, and then you just let that unit composition be what they've made, and you can just push in with like 5 portable rams. The Axemen take too long to take him out, and you will lose town centers. But instead, we're seeing Ballister, and I mean, if we remember back to that fabled game of Rappel versus Kimo on Painted Desert, you'll remember that Ballister were not successful. Kimo is struggling for gold here. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. I just set chat off. Chat's going wild here. Poor Rappel. He's a good guy. We got the mummy vizier going to come in and snipe down yet another fire giant. Jeff's on a couple of different gold mines over here as well, mining that all out. There's still no attempt at like taking any ground on this map. This is a really poor execution of the late game of Norse here. As we do see one town center has been cleaned up here. Because if you can secure all of this location here with buildings, with signal fires and maybe even carrier pigeons, and you kind of see the entire map and you can react to anything. We are seeing these units still pushing forward. The catapults getting taken out as well. These fire giants need to take down the axemen, but it's not happening. So the Titan Gate is 50% of the way through here. We've got that second monument, and it's just Jeff in the 42nd minute mark of this game does decide that it's hopeless for him, decides to tap out. GG. Well played by Kimo. A stellar defense job here, but I do like what Jeff did, and he definitely made the Thor seem very, very strong here in this game with the low hunt, and it was a tough one for Kimo to win here. He had to pull out a lot of tricks in his book. But if Jeff had just done just a couple of really little things, he could have really been a much bigger thorn in Kimo's side. For example, thing number one would have been, once you take this town center down, you put up some walls here, and you can baluster attack this town center, and then take this town center and be up effectively 20 population with your Titan just denying this town center. And that kind of stuff is really important with the Rag Titan shenanigans that you go for. But did not happen. Jeff loses. Kimo wins. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.